No sound. Sorry about that, guys. How's everybody doing tonight? Gosh, man, that's such a noob move. Welcome everybody to ChanmanV's Pro Corner, where pros come and show us how it's done. I'm your host, ChanmanV, and want to welcome you to the kind of Razer announcement show that I've been promoting on TL and Reddit, and hopefully you guys caught wind of that and can see, just see that we're doing, some of the things that we're doing tonight. But for folks that haven't, why don't I explain a little bit what we're going to be doing tonight? It's going to be a really fun night. I'm trying to do as many things for just to have this be a really festive night. So first off, I was of course like the whole being sponsored by Razer. I want big thanks to Razer. Razer's just amazing, and I'm really excited to be partnering with them. And so what does that mean for the show? What it means is the show is going to be the same. Everything is going to be the same as it always was. We're going to have as many of the pro players around the community as possible on the show. But what that does mean for you guys is I will be doing giveaways like once a week for you guys of Razer gear. And the gear can be anything from the Banshee headset, which we're doing tonight, and to anything from their awesome mouse pads, the control mouse pads, and the bungees and keyboards and mice. So it's all around the board. So tonight's giveaway though is going to be this Banshee headset, this awesome headset. You guys have probably seen just on just various tournaments where the guys are wearing these these StarCraft branded Razer headgear, and it always has the APM, whether it's blue, red, or white, the lights on the side. That's the Banshee here. And we're going to be doing a giveaway for this and the t-shirt. One person will win kind of both of them. And the way you enter is you add me on Twitter at ChanmanV, and you tweet me what you think that TLO's favorite moment in Liquid Rising is. And whoever has the right answers, or the group of people that have the right answers, will randomly pick from those people. So it's all kind of obvious who we have on tonight. We have the one and only LiquidTLO on to go over some ZvT with us tonight, and it's really special moment for me because TLO, his play, and just all the videos that used to be on the internet with Husky and just various others. His videos are really what really got me intrigued about the SE2 community, and this Pro Corner concept, with having pros come on and explain strategy. He's actually always been one of those kind of ideal players I had in my head that would be, the ideal guest that can explain strategy, because he's such a creative player and he's amazing at explaining things too. So this is going to be an absolute treat tonight, so I can't wait. And at the end of this, guys, we're going to be doing Q&A with LiquidTLO, and I'm going to try to allocate a little bit more time than we normally have so that you guys can, really get a chance to ask your questions. And the way you do that is you add me on Skype. My Skype ID is ChanmanV, and I'll pull you into the call. And as many callers as we have, we're just going to, we'll keep taking callers. And once the callers are over, then we'll take questions from the stream chat. So, all right. So why don't we pull on TLO and get this party started? Let me switch this over, and let me switch TLO over to so you guys can hear him. Here we go. Hey Dario, how's it going?
Hey man, what's up?
Hey, we're on the stream and just kind of explaining to some of them what we were going to be doing tonight. But before we kind of jump right into that, I kind of wanted to have you kind of tell folks what you've been up to, and maybe what tournaments and how Korea is, and that kind of thing that you have coming up in the near future.
Sure. As we were saying, I'm in Korea currently. Let me check real quick. I'm writing it down on my Twitch channel. For 43 days, I've been in Korea now, and I think practice is going pretty well overall. And next up is Home Story Cup for me. I'm going to be flying to Germany on the 2nd of July, and hopefully do well there. Always good to have an opportunity to show what I'm capable of, and I think currently I'm playing really good. So as long as I'm able to bring that over to actually tournament play, I think I'm in a good spot.
Yeah, I've been watching you a lot actually lately, and I know a lot of other groups of my friends have been watching too, and actually they pointed it out before I even started watching that you've been playing unbelievable in Korea. So I had to kind of check out what they were talking about, and sure enough, yeah, I've been really impressed and really happy to see you playing at such a high level, just owning a lot of notable Koreans on the ladder. So really cool.
Yeah, for sure. But well, it's one thing doing it on practice. The next thing I'm gonna have to learn is to actually do it in tournaments because I always had trouble playing as good as I can in tournaments. So
Oh,
that's
really?
kind of my next focus point rather than just becoming a better player to practice to kind of master my mental state at tournaments because that's a whole different story and I think that's what really differentiates the people who win tournaments and the champions and other pro gamers who are really good too.
Yeah. So, do you get nervous at tournaments? I mean, is that the deal or
Um,
what?
I I get thoughts like I get unfocused because I start thinking about stuff that is not in the game but
Oh,
has
wow.
something
Okay.
to do with the scene and I've always had trouble to like shut out everything around me at tournaments because first of all I am much more popular than my results would suggest so I feel like a little bit of a burden because of that because I feel obliged to deliver results and then I feel a lot of pressure
Mm-hmm.
and so that's really important for me to learn now to shut all that out and just focus on my play and forget everything around me.
Mm-hmm. I see. So, what are your plans for GSL? Are you going to be playing soon, or?
Well, I'm gonna wait for the next Code A season, obviously, try to qualify for, and that's still some time. I think that's maybe 2 months still
Mm-hmm.
until the next season or something. So
Okay.
for now on, I just got plenty of time to practice and see what I can do at European events or maybe ESV weeklies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, how long are you going to be in Korea?
Um, it's not entirely fixed yet. I'm kind of aiming for November, December to stay
Okay.
here.
Yeah. So, a long time. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah. So tonight, what we're gonna do is, I was just telling them that when I first, before we get started, before I was telling them before, when I first came up with the Pro Corner concept, and a lot of it had, a lot of the original idea came from, Mr. Bitters, right? And I
Mm.
remember you being on Ben's 12 weeks, and I remember thinking how like awesome you were at explaining strategies. So when I came up with
Thanks.
Pro Corner and all the different formats, I've always had in the back of my head that you would be an ideal guest for this. So that's why tonight I felt like was a real special night, and for something such a kind of great announcement, Razer announcement, it was just like perfect because like Team Liquid is you guys are Razer guys, and having you on the show to really celebrate was just it's just a perfect fit. So I am excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too, and congrats on the Razer sponsorship. It's good
Thanks,
to
man.
have you on board,
Yeah, thanks a lot.
and yeah, great things should happen from here.
Thanks, thanks. Yeah, so what we're gonna do tonight, guys, is we're gonna have Dario. He's gonna walk us through 3 replays, and they're ZvT replays, and each replay has a little bit different. A lot of what's going on, the strategies are a little bit different, and what we'll do is we'll take our time through the replays. So this will be kind of a Zurich spotlight show, but without the kind of live games at the end, because I really wanted to take our time, and then again have a little bit more Q&A time for you guys. And so we'll start off with I think the first game is more of just to kind of give you a preface to each of the games. The first game will be a roach drop against mech type of game. Second game will be more of a, I guess, Ling, kind of a Ling Infestor Ultra kind of composition, but a lot of countering, a lot of mid game attacks and counterattacks against Bomber too. So it's obviously Bomber's lots and lots of bio, right?
Yeah,
And then the last game is a really good game on Shakur's that really goes into the late game. It has a little bit of everything when it comes to ultras and broodlords, a little bit of actually honestly that last battle has every lots of units. So
yeah, I think I probably made every single unit with meters in that game, so that should be good.
exactly. But okay, yeah. So why don't we get started? Why don't we load up the roach drop replay,
Sure.
and then we'll fast forward to 2 minutes, and then we'll just take it at just normal, faster speed from there.
Okay.
And I'm going to 2 minutes. Make sure everybody sees the game here. Didn't switch over. Oh, I didn't have scene. Didn't load up scene switcher. Shoot. Oh well, I'll have to do it manually. Oh, passed up 2 minutes. Let me know when you're there.
I can.
Can't wait for Heart of the Swarm when we can just do this together, man.
Oh right, Heart of the Swarm's gonna have shared replays. I forgot about that.
That's gonna be so
Oh
awesome.
god. Yeah. Like, I honestly didn't expect it to happen anymore. Like, I already gave up, so I'm like really happy this is gonna be there.
Right. Hey, before we get started, what do you think of the auto restart? I mean, the starting back from a point in a replay. That ability that's going to be in the Heart of the Swarm.
Wait, what?
Heart of the Swarm, they're going to have this ability that I think a lot of people think is for tournaments where, if you have a game that freezes up and it ends, you can just kind of restart that game in a replay, from the replay. You can
so it's like a save point, and then you can actually continue playing from there?
Yeah, you can actually load back both the players.
They're going to have that?
Yeah, they're going to have that.
That's so good, because you can also practice with that much better.
You get it. Yes.
If you play custom games, you can just, for example, if you want to train micro in like a 200 situation, that's like really annoying to do. Like, you would always have to start a new game and play it entirely. But if you just want to focus on training that one specific situation, that's insanely good. Like, oh, I didn't know that's gonna happen. I'm so happy right now.
Dude, he gets it, guys. I've been saying this forever. How awesome this would be. Like, even before this change, I was talking about like teams should hire like a map expert. A person that makes maps that could just like create these custom, right?
I was saying that forever too.
Really? Oh man, dude, I should have had you on the show a long time ago, man. It's good stuff. But yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's just gonna be amazing, especially for foreigners, because it's like time saving, right? And foreigners just don't have as much time as like Koreans, I think, to play. So, anyways, getting back to this game. Okay, we're at 2 minutes. Is that correct? Okay. Why don't we start on 3? 3, 2, 1, start. So start off like how do you like to open it? I mean, I think everybody opens 15 hatch. Is that?
Yeah. There's really nothing else that is better than 15 hatch. I was kind of thinking lately that maybe going like a 13 or 14 pool might be good from time to time, because it's good against both proxy racks and 15cc. But it's really not so good against anything else. But I was wondering if it would be good to start mixing it in just to be a little bit more unpredictable, but 15 hatch is entirely fine. You can hold 2 racks if you micro correctly, and it's pretty safe and the best just standard build, really.
Yeah, we're going to see a 2 racks later on. The third replay will have 2 racks, so we'll talk about that whenever we get there. But okay, so in general, like what composition do you favor right now?
I've always been favoring a pretty link-heavy style in early game. Like almost every single ZvT I play right now, I get links, then I get Bane links, I get Infestors, and then I get Ultras, really. As simple as that. Except if I see somebody going like double factory or mech, I'm obviously gonna get Roaches as well. But against standard Terran, I prefer just having links, Bane links, Infestors, and Ultras. And if you can get there, I'm gonna get Ultras, but I think, Fruit Lords, but I think it's very hard to get Fruit Lords out in ZvT right now.
I see, right. And why is it that why do you like Infestors more than Muta? Because I feel like I've been seeing Mutas a little bit more, especially from guys like DRG, at least in mid-game. Talk to us about the differences between the two.
I think the problem of Mutas, in my opinion, is that it's a little bit more shaky. Because if you make one little bit bigger mistake in Mutas, it could cost you the game. While Infestor is better to... with Mutas, you always have to have an army that is somewhat equal to the Terran army. While with Infestors, you can fight much more cost effectively. And I think if you play Infestor side correctly, you can also harass almost as much as you can with Mutas. So overall, I just prefer Infestor style because it gives you a stronger army. And I think it's almost as mobile as Mutas if you do it correctly as well. And I feel like my creep spread is much better when I go Infestors because I can protect my creep better. I'm gonna have more queens, and I just also don't play Mutas very well, I think. So that's also a little bit of a personal preference.
Okay, so why don't we pause it here a second, because
Sure.
there's a couple things that we kind of missed there. So you go double gas on, I think it was 40 supply. Is that about right? Or
Yeah, it depends a little bit. Usually I go 2 gas around at the same time when my queens are at 50% or 60 to 70%. It depends a little bit on the map. What I want to exactly.
Is there a reason you took 1 at each of the bases? versus just 2 at one or the other?
Yeah. There's 2 reasons. First of all, it can throw off scouting for Terran, because if he gets a Hellion and then sees the guys, he might think I got 3 guesses instead of 2.
Right.
And I think it's also nicer for drone saturation, because it just balances out a little bit nicer, not having to sacrifice 8 drones at one base, but like 4 drones at each base.
I see. Okay. Yeah, it's distributed better. I see what you mean.
Yeah, it's distributed. Yeah, exactly. And also, like, one little bit of a minor factor, it's very good in late game if not 2 extractors in your main are depleted, but 1 extractor in your main and 1 in your natural, because then it becomes less vulnerable to drops. Because if you drop your main, you can only take out 1 extractor. If he drops your natural, you can take out only 1 extractor. And if I lose that base, also I'm only gonna lose 1 extractor instead of 2.
Okay.
Having like a decentral economy is always better than a centralized economy, I think.
Okay, and talking about your build, so it looks like you just went straight for 4 queens and just pretty much just droned the rest of the way, right?
Yeah.
What allowed you to? I mean, is just the fact that did you end up scouting? Let me see. Did you end up scouting the the expand? All right. So once you saw the expansion, you knew you were pretty much safe to just to be droning and just get to those 4 queens.
Yeah, and 4 queens have a lot of firepower. They can take out a lot of units early on.
Right.
So, and on top of that, I even saw 4 Marines, so I knew there's not going to be Hellions right away. So there was really nothing for me to be afraid of.
Okay.
So right now, I just want to focus on creep spread as much as possible. I always get 4 queens out, because I think creep spread is just so crucial.
Do you ever go to 6?
Sometimes. I've been seeing Luxero do that lately,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I like it a lot. So I've been doing it a little bit, but I haven't really figured out the timings entirely of that yet.
I see. Speaking of the creep spread, I know, one of the things that I've noticed is really just how well you've been playing creep. That's one of the things that it's kind of stood out to me when I've been watching you. Talk to me about the importance of the creep spread, especially going into mid game. Just having that early, like 12-minute creep spread past midpoint, type of game. Talk to me the importance of that versus just having like a half of that kind of creep spread.
Yeah, I can't stress enough how important creep is. It gives you vision, it gives you map control, and it makes your army so much more effective. And it also gives you more speed to harass. So I feel like when you fight on creep with Ling Baneling, your army is like 50% stronger than it would be off creep. That's a pretty big deal. And the sooner you spread creep, the earlier Terran has to invest to deny creep with scans. And that's so it's even economically harassing Terran by not attacking his SUVs, pretty much. And it forces Terran to take action, because if Terran would just sit back and not move out on the map at all, the entire map is going to be covered on creep, and he's going to move out, and he's going to have to fight Ling Baneling and Faster Ultra on creep. I'm going to have vision everywhere. So it really forces a lot of things out of Terran, and it's a very low, it's no investment whatsoever, because creep tumors are pretty much for free. You only need to get the queens, and just spread creep as much as you can. There's literally no reason to not do it.
Right. Okay. Great. And given the timing of his command center, when are you expecting Hellions if he's going to go like that little bit later Hellion timing?
Well, I mean, right now I don't even know if he's going Hellions.
Right.
And I just kind of try to adapt to it, really. I got the Watchtower at the front, I got Overlords at the front, I got a Ling at the front, and I'm a little bit spread out. So as soon as I see Hellions out, I still have enough time to prepare for it, really.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, okay, why don't we start it back up? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so at this point you're still droning. Looks like you're heading to your third. So, talk to me about the third timing here.
I kind of get it around the same time I'm getting speed for my circling. It's a little bit earlier here.
Oh, wow.
On some maps I try to get I get my hatchery in my base rather than at the third, but I think Cloud Kingdom is fairly easy to defend. You can spread your creep very quickly over there. So there's no reason for me to get an in-base hatchery, but that's an option too. It's basically the same build, but I would get my 4th hatchery at my third.
Right.
And then after I plant my third, I always get 2 evolution chambers. and just try to start up upgrades as soon as possible.
And the two Evos will kind of be a wall right here, right in front of your natural. Or no?
No, they're gonna be in my main, or
Oh, okay.
like between main and natural.
Oh,
I
there they
feel
are,
like
yeah.
I feel like the wall doesn't really help me a lot with that timing.
Okay.
It would be nice if he goes reactor Hellion before command center, but any time later than that, a wall is hurting Zerg more than it's helping Zerg really.
Okay, so he's pressuring. He's kind of doing that like Marine Hellion timing that usually hits before. Well, I mean, it seems like a really good timing here. So what are you thinking here when he comes with this? Is this early or?
It's fairly normal. My queens were a little bit out of position because, well, I just mismicroed a tiny bit. So I'm losing one queen, and right now I'm getting spores because it's very popular in Korea to follow that up with a cloak banshee.
Oh wow, okay.
And I'm adding more queens because of, well, just that pressure and just to be entirely safe against everything without having to invest flour into it. And I think overall that went pretty okay because he didn't take out the base, but he had to invest in a lot of units early on.
Okay, so it looks like a bunch of Hellions going into your natural, and you're just dealing it with Lings and Queens. Was there any thought process about going to roaches at all, or?
I was thinking about it for sure, but considering I got so many queens, I felt like I don't have to get roaches right away. And Zerglings are just really strong on creep against Hellions as well if you micro them correctly. It's all about not bunching them up, but spreading them out as much as possible so Hellions don't actually do the splash damage.
I see. Yeah, a lot of people, I think one of the things people are talking about are Zergs are kind of, overvaluing, I guess, the Queens in the beginning as just the only defense for, these Hellion type of pressures. And so a lot of people are just going, with 8 Hellions and just running right by them, basically, and still doing a lot of damage. So I guess the Lings are really, you have to have a ton of Lings. It's kind of alongside them, right?
Yeah, if you play defensively, you really don't even need that many, because if you spread them out in a huge arc and then have a bunch of queens to give fire support, the Hellions are gonna have a hard time to actually take out eight Zerglings because they're not gonna do splash damage. So instead of doing like 50 damage a shot, they're only gonna do 14.
I see.
And yeah, so Lings in defense against Hellions are just great as long as he doesn't have Blue Flame out. But even then, it's okay.
Oh, really? Even with Blue Flame, it's okay. Wow. Great.
Well, it depends on, like, if he has, like, a ton of Hellions, but if he has, like, 6 Hellions with Blue Flame, you can still defend it pretty easily on creep with Zerglings if you micro it correctly.
Yeah, so right now he's got a ton of Hellions, and looks like, you're heading towards, well, you have Infestor Pit now and getting Pathogen Glands, so you're still going to stick with this Ling Infestor type of composition?
Yeah, I mean, if you get Fungal Growth out, Zerglings can just deal with Hellions pretty easy, really. And I didn't scout very well, to be fair, so I didn't expect as many Hellions coming out now. And there's 2 queens on the field because I wanted to start spreading creep. Yep. So those are going to be taken out, I think. But it's gaining me a lot of time also, so that's fine.
Yeah, it gave you at least an extra full round of larva units there, which is good. So right now, just waiting for that, waiting for infestors to come out.
Yeah, now it's just all about gaining time until infestors come out and trying to deny him from coming up into my natural. I think it's very hard for Terran to actually go in there because he doesn't know how many Zerglings are there. So if he overcommits, he can easily get surrounded and lose everything.
I see.
That's why Terran's being a little bit hesitant.
And this is like his, his whole army for the most part. So yeah, so committing, if he actually, I guess, makes a wrong step here, then he's going to be pretty far behind, or you're going to be free to take a 4th and drone even harder, right?
I saw him finish up Blue Flame now, so I'm going to start a lot of spines just to be safe. And this ramp is just perfect for me to take out Hellions and fungal them, really.
So after taking out all those Hellions and the majority of his army, what is the next move? Like, what's the knee-jerk reaction right after?
Well, because he had that many Hellions, and I think I'm not sure if I scouted him. Let me check. No, I still haven't scouted his factories, but it's pretty much clear to me that he went mech. So I'm finally adding a roach burn after I take out all the Hellions, so that's a little bit counterintuitive.
Right,
But
right.
it made sense in that game. And
Look at that creep. He lifts the command center and then he can't drop it back. Love it. That's awesome.
yeah, Overload speed is just so good. It's something I try to always get as soon as possible. Just because it gives you map vision, perfect scouting, and you can even harass a little bit.
So with the lane counter there, I mean, it's always worth just immediately countering and just to see, because I guess you can just run away if it doesn't look good, right? That's kind of the logic behind it. Okay.
That's the beauty of circlings, really. You can take the engagements that make sense, and you can just back off from engagements that you're not gonna be capable of doing any damage to. That's like links should literally never be sitting in your base, unless you need them to defend drops or to defend something. Links should always be active on the map, because there's nothing that can catch links. So why would they be sitting in your base rather than being at the front, threatening your opponent and going for those holes that are going to open up in the game eventually?
So I noticed you're taking your fourth, which is kind of, I guess a kind of obvious decision. Any thought on taking a fifth, just like double expanding instead? Because it seems like you have immense map control at this point.
Yeah, but against mech, you kind of need to get a lot of units out, and I'm going for drop right now, so I really wanted to put the pressure back onto him. And sure, getting a fifth is nice, but you really don't even want to have more drones than 4 bases saturated, and I already have a fifth macro hatch anyways. So there's really no rush for me in that situation to get another base.
Okay, let's pause here. Okay, so the overlords, is this a bona fide fake roach drop? I never got a chance to ask you. Okay, so talk to me about that.
Basically, overlords are really good harass units, because if I have speed and he's going mech, going drop is a very obvious decision, and he can't see what's in there. So and he's not gonna have a lot of anti-air, so I can just fly into his main and force him back into his main and try to see if I can get him out of position. And it's also gonna delay his push timing, and it's gonna make him afraid, and it might even trigger a reaction to him when I'm gonna start dropping for real later on, that he's gonna think it's fake. So it's just so good on so many levels. And
Playing mind games. That's good. So that's brilliant right there, because you counter with the links too. Like it's you're pulling them in. It's like kind of like, I don't want to say retard magnet, but it's a little bit like that. But that's really brilliant. Okay, so so you're not worried about those dying though, the exit doors or anything like that, because obviously losing that many like overlords could be bad, right?
Yeah, but I mean, as soon as I would see his Vikings, I would turn around, and then I would lose like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And the Thors, like, they take forever to take out overlords. So even like I know I'm gonna lose a couple of them, but as you can see, like I got plenty extra supply already. I'm making another overlord even. So
I see.
it's definitely worth the investment. Trading minerals against gas in a ZvT mech is always a good choice anyways, and it doesn't come down to the minerals. I really have to get high-tech units out to fight mech anyways.
And behind this, you're just building a ton of roaches, I see. So the plan is still basically a roach drop, or could it be just purely a frontal roach with investor?
Yeah, when it comes to mech, you can't really make decisions like I'm gonna go for a drop or I'm gonna go for a frontal attack.
Okay.
It really comes down to how is ground positioned, and then you do, because you're so much faster than mech, you don't have to make a decision like I'm going for drop, I'm going for frontal attack. You just look what's up, and then you make the right choice. Really, you look where the fewest units are, and then you attack there.
Okay, awesome. Okay, why don't we start back up?
Sure.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, and right now you're just ravaging the third. You've probably killed. See, looks like you've killed. Actually, why can't I bring this up? Man, I'm not bringing it up. Where is it? What's the hotkey for units killed? Jeez, I'm like having a brain fart.
Shouldn't it be L? Well, no, that's just units lost.
Oh, you know what it is? Shoot, I'm switching like the scenes right now. Okay, never mind. I screwed up the hotkeys from where. Never mind. I'll do that later. Okay, so sorry about that. Okay, so now right now you're kind of pressuring the front now, and just checking things out, right?
Yeah.
Kind of going with the overlords again, just to check, just to get a good scout here. Nice. Kind of playing mind games with him again, right?
Yeah, and right now I don't think he's gonna believe there's gonna be a real drop coming anymore. At least he's gonna, like, back in his mind, it's gonna be like, oh, okay, Overlord's coming again. It's not gonna be recognized as a threat anymore. So as you can see, he delayed his units to move out a little bit. Just like kind of educating himself not to be afraid of it.
All right, and yeah, right now he's just sending one Viking there. So yeah, exactly to your point. He's just kind of not sure, so he's not completely committing to as much as, like, I guess a normal person would probably commit to a. Okay, so all the the roach drop is more of an indirect type of attack here. So kind of talk to me about why this is effective versus.
Okay. So my economy is stronger than his, and mech is very slow. So everything that buys me time is very good. Even if I invest a lot of money, I'm gonna make it back because of my better economy. And everything that kinda just harasses Terran mech and just takes out a few units here and there is really good for you. Because it's so hard to build up a mech army, but it's very strong if it's completed. So you really just want to gain time. I'm taking out a lot of depots. I'm gonna lose my overlords too, but I can remake them much easier than he can.
I love the drop.
And at the same time, I'm not sure. Are you at the place where never parasite the doors yet?
Not yet. I'm at 1955 right now.
No, I did that before.
Oh, did you do it already? Oh, I didn't see that. I must have missed that. Uh-oh.
Yeah, so you should go to, wait, I'm gonna tell you. 1850, I mean.
Okay, let me go to 1850 real quick.
So basically I get his army out of position, and I'm getting my infestors into position, and I got a little bit lucky there because his thoughts were over there. So I can neuroparasite all of them. Take out
these three on the side here. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally missed that.
And I'm gonna take out his third.
Yeah, I feel like Neural is just being underused these days. That's so good.
Yeah, I think it's very good against Smack if you get him out of position, and so that really the drop in the main was more of the distraction for the hit squad of infestors.
I see.
I didn't plan on neuroparasiting those doors and take out his third. That just happened. But my plan was just to spam like 60 infested terrans and take out the baits instead, or just fungal all the workers really. So yeah, against Mac the problem is for Terran. He really has to perfectly defend at every single space, and because I'm so quick, I can decide what I want to defend, what I want to attack. But he can't just decide what he wants to defend. He has to defend everything, obviously.
Right.
So just doing as much as you can against Mac and being as active as possible is the best thing you can do.
So while you're doing all this, what composition are you trying to get to in the end to really just stuff it? Because you're doing damage here and there. You're doing lots of economic damage, right? So economically, you're way ahead of him. So you can, obviously, you were just talking about just rebuilding your army just immediately into whatever tech you want, right? It looks like you're kind of heading towards Ultra, which I thought Ultra was supposed to be bad against mech. So talk to me about that a little bit.
There's never like a real general statement like something is bad against something in StarCraft, I think.
Sure.
I think against mech you have such a strong economy, it's always good to take up to Ultralists and get Aspire. And Ultralists are extremely strong against moving mech army. And they're also extremely strong against mech armies that are a little bit out of position. And against tank-heavy mech armies. And I saw a lot of tanks of them. So it's more like a transitional thing. I want to show Ultras, and then he's not going to get Vikings or not as many, and then I can get Poodlers later on. And the nice thing about having Ultras and Poodlers, like you can always get the perfect balance. If you see a lot of Vikings, get Ultras. If you see a lot of tanks and Thors but no Vikings, get Poodlers.
I see. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Where are you right now in the replay?
It's already done for me because
Okay.
replays are a little bit stupid and get out of sync. But,
Yeah, exactly. I was okay. So I'm
so,
at minute 20. Why don't we go back there real quick?
okay, sure.
Yeah, at this point, you're just. I feel like you're. I mean, even supply wise, you're like 50 ahead of them. So that roach attack was so good. But your roach attacks, okay. So a lot of your roach drops is really just buying time, like you said, and getting a little bit of damage, and but buying time to really, tech or build that composition to the proper tech, I guess, against it.
Yeah, I think the most problem most people have against Mac is that they're kind of afraid of attacking because it's so easy to lose all your army. But if you have a very strong economy, you can trade in efficiently, right? Because your economy is stronger, and then if you trade 10 roaches against 1 tank, but have 5 bases against 2 or 3, that's a good trade.
Yeah, exactly. Gotcha. Okay, you ready to start?
Yeah.
We just kind of see the end of this. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, and now you're just coming down with your Roach Ultra Infestor army.
Yeah, and at the same time at the bottom, I'm gonna prepare an Infestor drop as well.
Yeah, I see that. There's like about 6 Infestors over here. Talk to me a little bit about your control, like whether it's control, just control groups, and I mean, are you queuing up a lot of stuff during all this? Because you're attacking with multi-prong, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening all at once here. So, or are you just clicking all over the map right now?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like, I just try to control everything.
Yeah. Oh man, that's awesome. Okay. Oh, like the Queen and the Overlord. That's good stuff right there.
Yeah, that's very underused too. As soon as you have drop, spreading creep becomes so much more comfortable because you can just take a queen and start spreading creeps at locations that aren't adjacent to your current creep spread yet.
So it looks like this initial frontal attack with the Ultra is just more of a diversion for your kind of Brofester attack with the Infestors in the back here. Yep.
I mean, I expected to do some damage, but I knew I'm gonna lose that army at the front. But if you can get like 40 Infestors into the main of Terran, he's bound to lose a ton of units. And I think Infestor drops like that are really great. I was kind of stealing that from GSL because it makes perfect sense. You invest like 10 supply, but you're gonna spawn like 40 units.
40 units, exactly.
And that's just really good because he's gonna have to, like, even in this game it's just gonna be the killer blow really, but in another game it's gonna force him to send back a lot of units, much more than 10 supply, or he's gonna lose a ton of buildings in his main. So I think that's the beauty about drop in general. If you want to clean up drop cost efficiently, you're always gonna have to send more supply than your opponent dropped, because if you send equal amounts, you're gonna have an equal trade, or just like about as a little bit more efficient or something, and I'm gonna do damage before that, so it's always gonna be good for me. And which means at a different location he's gonna have a supply deficit, and I can attack with a higher amount of supply there. That's really the best thing you can do. If you have a mobile army, you can always force unit movement, and you can always force more supply to go there where you're attacking than you're investing. And if you have the faster units, you can even, at the same time, move those units back to the location where he sent away units and then attack with everything there.
I see. Yeah, definitely. In this particular case, when you basically just threw, for like 40 volleyballs in there, is it fair to say that the strategy was, I mean, once you start taking out those factories, you pretty much have the game won against the mech army? Because those factories, that's kind of what you see in a lot of these games, right? It's like once, it's not about just killing the mech army. It's just about just totally, destroying their production buildings.
Yeah, factories just take forever to build, and especially if you want to add an add-on to, which you want to.
Right.
And mech just builds up very slow. So if you take out 3 factories, that's going to accumulate to a ton of tanks, really. And at the same time, of course, I wanted to take out the factories, but I also wanted to take the main CC because it's an orbital, it's helpful, and there's even gas to being mined there. So
right.
like, there's just so much you can do with the main shop because there's just so many valuable targets.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. All right. That was end of replay number 1. I think that was a good start. Good stuff. So how often do you have you been seeing mech on the ladder?
Not that many times really.
Okay. Cool.
Maybe 1 out of 10 games at best. So
Okay, that's
it's
not
still
much.
it's not being played that much at the moment. No.
Being a past Terran player, I don't know. What do you think Terrans should be doing right now? A lot of Terrans have been complaining, especially since the last patch, and whether it's fair or not fair, they've just been a little bit confused as to what to do with the queens because they've been so stuck in a certain metagame for a long time, right? I don't know.
Well,
What do you think they should be doing?
I know everybody's always saying it, but I think they really need to add ravens. And I don't mean that like
Yeah.
take out creep raven with like 1 raven, but Terran has a ton of gas that you're not using. So my idea is around the 10-11 minute mark, you add 1 starport and you just start building up ravens. And you don't do anything with them because you're gonna end up losing them and they're not gonna be effective anyways. So over the next 8 minutes, you just make 8 ravens, and you're not even gonna get energy upgrade for the longest time. You're gonna get it very late on because your first 6 ravens are gonna have 200 energy anyways. As soon as you wanna start using them, so you don't need the energy upgrade. You get Seeker Missile, and then you just slowly build up ravens, and you have 8 ravens in your late game army composition. You have a ton of Seeker Missiles, you have PDDs, and that's just gonna give you a way stronger late game composition. And I think people really need to start doing that because right now the people use Mass Raven in a very stupid way. They're like, oh, it's 25 minutes, I got 4,000 gas, I gotta make 5 starports at once now and start making ravens. But just slowly scaling up to ravens would be very effective, I think.
I see. So playing more defensive too, is that what it means?
It doesn't even mean more offensive because it's such a low investment, really. I mean, a Raven takes 1 minute to build, a starport costs 150 minerals, and then it's just 100 minerals a minute that you invest into the Ravens. So that's 2 Marines a minute less you're gonna have for your active pushing. So I don't think you're gonna have to be less aggressive by it.
Right.
It's just really good to do that, I think. But nobody's doing it so far. I actually saw I think Bomber did it. Somebody did it at GSL now. I'm not sure who anymore. I was very happy when I saw that because I had that idea in my head for forever and nobody started doing it.
Right. Yeah, it seems to be the most underutilized unit right now in the game. That has so much utility, right? The Raven is pretty much the Terran, I guess, equivalent to the Infestor. Meaning just how many different ways you can use it, right? And for damage, and even just like turret, infested Terran and fungal versus Hunter Seeker, right? Actually, it's even more utility because it detects stealth too. So
yeah,
so
Ravens
so
are just so good units, and they're flying on top of that.
Yeah, that's true. But, all right, why don't we transition into the second replay?
Sure.
And while we're doing that, guys, I just want to fill the viewers up or fill the viewers in on what we're doing. Tonight's kind of a fun Razer announcement show. I have TLO on here, kind of walking us through. A lot of ZvT strategies, and we just got done with one replay concerning Roach Drop. We're also doing a giveaway. We're doing a giveaway of this Banshee headset right here, Razer Banshee headset. And the way you enter it is you add me on Twitter at ChanmanV, and you tweet me what you think LiquidTLO's favorite part in the documentary Liquid Rising is. And the folks that have the right answer will randomly pick a winner from that group of people. And also, we're going to be doing Q&A at the end of this, so start adding me on Skype. My Skype ID is ChanmanV, and we'll pull you into the call so you can ask TLO your own questions. All right, loading this puppy up. This is Cloud Kingdom, and this game's against Bomber, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Why don't we fast forward to 2 minutes? All right. Okay, getting everything ready. So, I think you pretty much opened the same way that you did the last game, I believe, right?
Probably.
Which sounds like
Very
you
likely.
you kind of open up every game the same way.
Well, yeah, 80% of my CVTs I open up like that.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready whenever you're.
I'm too.
Okay, cool. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. So did you have any? You knew it was bomber going into this, right?
Yeah.
And did you have any kind of uh, kind of predetermined expectation of how he was going to play, or?
I know he likes the 2-Rex from time to time, so I sent out a drone pretty early on, scouted proxy location, and I know he plays very bio-heavy, likes dropping, but overall, like, you can have some expectations, but you should try not to think about them too much, just keep them in your mind.
Right.
When it comes to, like, things like overload placement and scouting, but you shouldn't adapt your style too much because of who you're playing against.
Where is that proxy location you were talking about?
I scouted next to the watchtower and like up the ramp, and I scouted at my third.
Okay, cool. All right, and it looks like he's just going with a Rax expand here. 1 Rax expand, pretty standard. That
Yeah,
pretty much
1
tells
Rax
you you're just
expand.
super safe here, right? You're not going to get pressured for a long time.
Exactly. It's like, I think the 1 Rex expand is probably around 80% or 70% of every game in CVT at the moment in Korea. Very standard. And on this map, it's hard to scout the gases in the main. But it's easier on some other maps, and it's very interesting to find out, does he get the 2 gases or does he get more barracks? In that case, I'm going to be able to scout his barracks actually with my overload. So that's very, very good information for me there. Because it means no Hellions, but a lot of Marines.
So I noticed you could only really get 1 overlord across the map. Is that, just true? Just because people are just sending Marines kind of along the top of the map to snipe off any overlords?
Yeah, I mean, you can send an overlord to the top, but it's a gamble. So I don't really like doing it on Cloud Kingdom here. Okay. You get a fairly good idea of what's going on with that on Overlord. Okay. And other than that, I'm gonna start putting my Overlords in top scouting positions.
Yeah, it's harder on this map. There's not that much open space on this map, but
yeah,
there's a lot of raised area though, so you can put it in those spots. So you're going with the 4 queens again, getting that creep spread started.
Yep. Very standard. Hitting my own queen accidentally.
It's all good. She heals. Okay, so it's a same kind of thing with a 3rd being right around where you get Zergling speed.
I think I'm probably gonna get it later.
Okay.
Because I saw the 3 barracks,
okay.
And I'm not I'm getting the main hatchery because there's a pretty strong timing on the 3rd, and I just don't want to risk anything against that.
I guess the key point though is that you still get the 3rd hatchery. It's just whether it's at the base or not is really dependent upon what he's doing. Okay.
Yeah, I always get the 3rd hatchery. That's something I always do.
Okay.
And I'm getting a little bit of a trick of 3rd gas now too, just because I'm not getting a 3rd base. So nothing wrong about. Like I'm not going to be able to use as many drones and minerals, so I might just use them a little bit more in gas.
So double Evo, you just need 3 gas for the first upgrades?
No, for the first upgrades you don't need the 2 gas, but just for later on to have more gas on faster than minions and stuff.
Okay, cool.
I'm accidentally making a 3rd evolution chamber in this game, by the way. That's not on purpose.
You're gonna get range attack too at the same time, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but then I was like, nah, there's not really any utility to that.
Yeah. I guess it could be if you're going like Roachling Bane.
Yeah.
Some crazy timing like that.
Sometimes I get a 3rd evolution chamber against Protoss in very late game to get range upgrade, and against Terran too, just to have stronger queens and stronger and faster Terrans.
Yeah.
But that's like super late game, and I'm like researching 3-3 already, and I'm adding a evolution chamber just to get +1 range more quickly.
So right now, what are you kind of wary about? Like, what kind of strategies? Given that you've scouted the three barracks, what are his possibilities of strategies here in your mind?
Well, just very strong timing, and this game I should have thought of drop, but I kind of didn't think of it. And he does a pretty good job at scouting my dodging my scouts, and my overload positioning is not very good either. So his drop goes actually undetected, and my building placement is also very bad. If you look at my evolution chamber and my bangling nest, they shouldn't be at that position.
Yeah, that makes it really hard.
So this is actually going to be a little bit bad for me.
Okay, pause it real quick before we do this.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you about is you starting the fourth or third, because I think what you said before about the third hatch totally makes sense. If it's not, it kind of feels like you might be doing a timing, then extending yourself is probably not a good idea. But explain the logic about taking the fourth now, because I think a lot of people would have just been kind of stuck on two base like too long, because they're kind of in that phase and they're just kind of like, now is there kind of a I guess a trigger point that would make you feel like, okay, now it's time for the third. Now it's safe to do the third.
2 points. My overlord at the front still hasn't seen any push coming out. So the timing is kind of over.
Okay.
Because in this game, it's the drop coming from the back, but I don't know that yet. And second of all, my creep spread is a little bit past my third base now. My bailing nest is ready. And my +1/+1 is gonna finish in about a minute, and because his push is not out yet, I know my +1/+1 upgrade is gonna finish before his pressure is gonna start. So all those reasons just make it very obvious to me that I'm gonna be able to defend my third base pretty easily.
Okay. No, it makes sense. Just wanted to check on that. Okay, let's start it back up. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, getting into this drop. Looks like he's starting to drop now. Hard to get there with just lings with those buildings there.
Yeah, those buildings
Those
were
damn best buildings.
they're very terrible.
Okay, so queen's on the medevacs, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's always important. But they're not going to do so much damage to the marines, really.
Okay, so had to have the banes. Thankfully, you were able to morph about 8 banes there,
Yeah.
and then cleaning up the medevac. Oh, not quite. Shoot. Man, he does a lot of damage with this. Wow. Well, he hasn't killed that many drones, I guess.
But he's gonna continue killing drones now.
Yeah.
It was really bad. It was really, really bad. At this point, he's very far ahead of the game. He's ahead in supply. He has equal amounts of workers, and he has a third base ready as well. So,
Okay, so because of that, like a lot of us, I think, are in this boat where we're, exactly what you're talking about, equal drones at like 50, and that's usually the recipe for disaster, right? Against Marines, especially they keep continually pressuring and getting good cost-efficient trades.
yeah.
So talk to me, like what kind of what is the equalizer that's going to be that you're trying to that you're going to
Well,
get
I think Sir can always come back from that. Most important, like one of the biggest factors now is keep your creep alive. You see, I have a queen pretty much at the front still, and I'm trying to deny those marines from killing my creep, because if I lose my creep, I'm gonna lose my most important defensive tool, which is creep in that game. I'm getting speed pretty quickly now because speed banes are good on creep, and I had to delay my upgrades a little bit. They're starting now, but I needed to gain my drones back up, obviously. And well, most importantly, stay active. If you become reactive now, you're gonna die, because Terran is gonna have free reign over the map. Like, the more behind you are, the faster you have to become, the more aggressive you have to become, and the more things you have to start doing.
All right, so I like this counter attack. I mean, he just opened the door for you there, and you just went right through. So
that was pretty lucky. Big mistake by him. He didn't open up with a wall at his natural, but opened at his main, but with a wall at his natural. So he kinda forgot to put 3 depots at his ramp later on.
Right.
There should always be 3 depots to the Terran players watching, no matter like how late you make them. It's just always good to have them, because you can lift them up anyways, so they are not blocking you.
Yeah, the
that
beauty
link counter is really what got me back into this game. If I wouldn't have countered the links, he could have attacked me, and I wouldn't really have had any chance to defend against them.
Yeah, I mean that simple concept is so good, and we were talking about in the last show is that if you guys didn't notice that when he was doing that counter, when basically all the action was on the Terran side of the base, he just made 10 drones there, and that's exactly those 10 drones that you should have had, right? Like about 3 months ago. So that's good stuff. Okay, so at this point in the game, it looks like you're kind of getting into that more that comfortable. Lings are getting upgrades and you're getting to infestors, but it looks like you're still building Banes though. So tell me about that. Having Banes
Uh,
and infestors together.
Banes plus infestors complement each other very greatly. I don't think they're like it's not a redundant thing to have both
Okay.
infestors and banelings, because obviously if you're fungal units, your banelings are gonna have an easy time to connect, and if you land like two fungals on a ton of marines, but they have a ton of medivacs, they still won't die. But if you then hit with your banelings, obviously you're gonna clean up, and it's just good. You just have a good amount of synergy with banelings and infestors.
Right. Let's pause
And
it.
obviously you can burrow infestors as well.
Let's pause it a second.
Which time are you at?
I'm at 1446.
Okay, let me get a little bit ahead here.
Okay. Lots of stuff to ask you about.
Okay, 1446.
Yeah.
Okay, still not there. Okay, now.
Yeah. So okay, first thing I want to ask you about is kind of your comment about like it not being redundant. Yeah, I mean I totally agree with that. One thing I wanted to ask you about is kind of the design of the game and how splitting for Terrans affects that. And what I mean is that I feel like the way Zerg's designed is that Banes, especially Banes with speed and in fungal, right, are meant to be like the area damage units that really I guess kind of equalize the kind of matchup or the battles. And whenever like you get guys like Marine King, and I mean I can just imagine Flash like later, when you get like crazy splits like that, like what is Zerg supposed to do? I mean, like, are they more susceptible to just pure Ling when they split like that, or
Okay,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Yeah.
That's a very good point you're making there. A clump of Marines, just like 40 Marines, A-moving as a group, would kill almost infinite amount of Zerglings
Right.
if you have 10 medivacs. So, because you don't get surface area on them, it's only going to be like 20 Lings attacking drones. Banelings are obviously good to kill Marines, but they're even better at making Marines split. So there is surface area between Marines, so as many Lings as possible can get in between the ranks of
wow.
Marines, and you can just do so much more damage with your regular army compared to if Marines would just stay compact and stutter step together as a group.
I see. Okay, so there is a little bit of like baiting with like Banes into just creating more surface area, like you said. Okay, that's
absolutely.
cool.
I think Ling banning just is a very interesting dynamic against Marines. There's so many factors what's happening in a battle like that that I don't think I completely understand entirely yet what to do. But it's definitely pretty cool that it works like that. Banes make Lings stronger, Lings make Banes stronger. Because also like Lings can like prevent Marines from splitting by like getting them from behind, and then Banes do more damage. So there's really a lot of harmony between Banes and Lings.
Right, exactly. And I had asked you this offline, but I kind of figured I'd ask you on the show too. Lings and Banes, right? Those are actually common between whether you go Infestor or Muta, right? You can go either one there. And the one thing that I've noticed, watching DRG and kind of reintroducing mutas again in a lot of this play, at least mid game for like this kind of area right now, like in the 14-minute mark, is that I've noticed that he just contains medevac count with it, because every time he gets that trade in the middle of the map or wherever it is, he wipes out all those medevacs, and even if it means like his army's kind of it's been shrunken, it's not very big. At least like it seems like the medevac count has a lot to do with the Terran when the Terran pushes. So whenever it comes to the Infestor army, how are you doing that? I mean, I feel like if they get to like 12 medevacs, those bio units are just, I mean, you can't kill those guys like unless you even with like Lings sometimes when they're just all healing basically. I mean the cost efficient, like a Marine becomes like 2.5 Marines. You know what I mean? It feels like. So yeah. So how does that happen? I mean, do you agree with that point that the medevac count is a very key thing in this or the retention of medevacs is a really key thing to point out in this matchup?
Sure, medevacs are always very helpful. The more medevacs, the better. But there's two factors how you can counter it. One thing, as you said, like just kill medevacs with mutas and stuff, or what I want to start doing is what Violet did to get bunch of corruptors rather than mirrors, because then I just can go with my Ling, Baneling, and Puzzle composition and just get 4 corruptors to slowly damage and clean up medivacs that are fungal as well. And that has also a very nice side effect, because I then can start getting armor upgrades on those corruptors. They're gonna get beefier, they're gonna become great tanks as soon as you have a couple of armor upgrades, and Terran is gonna immediately be afraid of Crude Lords. But then I go Ultras, and sometimes I go Crude Lords, sometimes I go Crude Lords, but sometimes I go Ultras, so it's very hard for Terran to know what's going on when that's happening. And second, the solution to everything and every single problem is creep. Right. If you have creep, Banelings and Infestors are much easier to target big groups of Marines, and then they basically kind of insta-give Terrans Marines because you have Banelings, and then the healing doesn't really matter so much because you just kill them with like 1 attack, and then it's okay for them to have 11 medivacs, because if you flank from like 2 sides with Ling, Baneling, Ultralis, if the Banelings connect, the medivacs won't help.
I see. Yeah. That's the Bane DPS is instant, right? So that's good stuff. Yeah. Got it. All right. One last question about the Burrowed Banes. Like, how often are you using them now? Because obviously, when Leenock was having crazy success months ago, one of the things that everybody noticed was really how effective his Burrowed Bane land explosions were, right, on a lot of these pushes. And obviously you're setting some up here, so I was kind of wondering, like, in general, have you been using that a lot, or?
There's really no reason to use them, to not use them. For me, it feels like the faster and the better I become, just the more stuff I want to use as Zerg. Like, my idea of ZvT in the future is every game I'm gonna have Thrub, every game I'm gonna have Banelings Bird, every game I'm gonna have Infestors sharking around the map, looking for openings, and every game I'm gonna have Bird Roaches and Zerglings burrowing everywhere. So it's just so low investments, 100 gas, get burrow. And you might, like, even if you take out 10 Marines in an entire game, just because of that, it already paid off. And you're always gonna take out 10 Marines in a whole game. And it also even 2 scans forced by that already makes it worth it.
Right.
So as a Zerg in late game, get every single upgrade you can get.
Yeah, I mean that's the beauty of, especially when the Leenock was having success at the time, is that he kind of reinvigorated the Zergs with just his usage of the Burrowed Banes and his usage of Transfuse, right? I mean those were such key like Zerg utilities that people weren't using enough. So, all right, let's start this puppy up. Enough questions. All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, wait, I want to point out one more thing.
Okay,
I did
yes,
in this game.
let's pause it one more time. Okay.
Look at my main and look at my natural and tell me what you see there.
Main and natural. Oh, wow, you have a layer and layer in one and a hive in another. Okay, yeah, talk to me about that.
So my layer is the one who scouted at the natural. So this game I decided to make my hive in my main, because if he would decide to scan my natural to check my hive timing, he wouldn't know what's going on.
Right. Man, all the little mind games at the top level. This is like it's awesome. That's so awesome. That's when it's that's when the game's starting to get at least closer to where it's going to end up, right? When
it's really great how much potential there is still in StarCraft 2 when it comes to stuff like that. Mind games are very underused.
Yeah.
I like Protoss canceling buildings.
It's huge.
Like imagine things like Protoss makes a Twilight Council, somebody scouts it, and he cancels it, but in reality he was already building a Twilight Council somewhere else, and he still goes DTs, but your opponent thinks, okay, cancel the Twilight Council, there's not going to be DTs out there, but in reality the DT timing is still going to hit at the correct time.
Exactly.
Like, there's so much you can do in StarCraft 2, like, which has nothing to do with mechanics, but with pure tactics, with pure painting out your opponent, with fluffing and poker strategies. So be on for a good ride in the future of StarCraft 2. I'm sure there's going to be so much more interesting games coming up.
Yeah, not enough people like scout multiple times. So I mean, all those points that you made are just really, really good, and it's just so easy to do.
It's kind of funny because people are still so bad at scouting that those games are not being utilized as much yet. In StarCraft 1, people scouted much more, I think. So the more people scout, the more bluffing is going to become better. Because right now, if I, like, in this game, for example, I don't even know if he scouted my layout, my height. So I'm like, okay, maybe this didn't do anything because he didn't scout correctly. But in an ideal world, your opponent is always going to try to scout, and that is going to give you the option to fake him out, which is kind of cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Once everything starts becoming like the highest level, yeah, those little things are what's gonna end up making the difference in the huge difference. Okay, let's start it up. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Speaking of burrowed veins, we're about to see a land right here. You put it in the perfect spot too, man. Bam. Okay, so I mean, I noticed that he doesn't turn around though. He just keeps pushing.
He kind of has to turn around now because of the little counter.
Yeah, the little counter with the lings. Yeah, I love the burrowing, like just to retain your or at least force a scan, right?
Yeah, well, there's a turret actually, but.
Oh yeah, well that's true. Yeah,
but I didn't realize that at the moment.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to miss, and like it's a split-second decision. I'm already in my main, but like they wouldn't have done any additional damage anyway, so it's still okay.
Yeah, so talk to me about these lings. It looks like you just sent these lings to die.
Into his main?
Yeah. Is it for scouting? Is it for? I mean, you did some damage for sure, but
Okay, so as you can see, I'm splitting them all up in his main now, throwing them everywhere.
Nice.
And like I pushed back his army all the way up to his main again. As you can see, his supply is higher than mine, and Ultralists aren't ready yet. 3/3 upgrades aren't ready yet.
Yep.
So I need to do everything possible to stop him from pushing me right now, because I don't have anything to deal with his army. I have one infested. I don't have Ultralists, so this is everything I needed to do to make sure when he pushes, I'm gonna be ready.
Right, and now you have the Ultras coming out, so it was a delay tactic. And I really like. I mean, I can just imagine you just having like 3 or 4 groups just burrowed all over the place to force 4 scans, which is like crazy to have for him to have to do to kill like 10 units.
I was so sad right now. I kind of forced him away from my burrowed banelings. They would have done a lot of
Oh
damage.
yeah, exactly right here. Oh man.
I was like, when I was playing that, I was like, oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I should have waited for my attack like 1 more second.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been sweet. Okay, so you're kind of counterattacking again, and it's the same type of. It's like free damage, right? In a way, because they're just lings, and lings are free because they're minerals, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think I'm still being pretty cost efficient. Like I'm denying binding, I'm taking out turrets. So it's not even like I'm trading minerals like for time. I'm just trading minerals for minerals and time.
Right. And again, like every time, it seems like he never quite kills all of your lings. Like you always end up burrowing some of them, which is so good. Oh, nice fungals. But again, with the Medivacs kind of negate the investors, right? I mean, they're the equalizer.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say negate. I still killed a lot of Marines, and they are kind of out of energy soon. So as long as I keep up the aggression and the fungal harassment, there's going to be a point where those Medivacs are still going to run out of energy.
I love the creep. The creep is giving you just that scouting ability at this point, so
Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of important to point out right now he can't take out the creep because he spent so many scans on my units that are burrowed. So that's why he doesn't have energy on his orbitals.
I just pull back there. Yeah, I really like Ultra Bane. Ultra Bane is so good. Got quite a few links too, so I guess in case he does split, you're going to be doing some serious damage there.
Yeah, you need some links for sure to just deny the units from kiting.
So talk to me about the functionality of the Ultras here.
Okay, first of all, you send in the Ultras first as the first unit. That's something people always get wrong, even on high levels.
Yeah.
Because then everything is going to start targeting down the Ultras, and the Lings are just going to get in there with the DPS, and Ultralists on creep are just really good against Marine tank, and I saw, because of all my Ling runbys and whatnot, that he doesn't really have tech labs, that he doesn't have Marauders. So Ultralists were just a very obvious choice to go.
Right, I see. Good stuff. Yeah, definitely. You know, the DPS for the Lings actually the Lings end up doing more damage anyways than Ultralisk, right? Because their attack speed is so
Well,
high, right?
Ultralisk do a lot of damage too, but
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
they do spread damage for sure, but
Yeah.
they seem to be like the AI for them seems to never be efficient when it comes to bio.
But you can like make a very you can influence that very strongly. It's not just
Oh, really? Okay.
like as long as you don't just aim with your Ultralisk, you can determine how the Ultralisk are gonna come in and if they're gonna get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like the more you split, the better it's gonna be, really.
I see. Right. All right. Right now, it seems like they're just dancing a little bit, but he just trying to pull them away from you. It seems like you're delaying for something. Are you waiting for infestors or? Oh, the
I'm
Banes.
just
Okay,
looking for the perfect angle, really.
There you go. Nice pickup by him. Gonna wipe out the tanks though. He's leaving the tanks pretty naked there. Nice fungal. It just seems like you have just the right balance of everything in this game.
Yeah, it's this game felt pretty nice. It's like one of those games where, to me, when I play good games, StarCraft feels like playing a musical instrument almost. It's like I'm in the right flow, and I have a rhythm, and I'm following that rhythm, and I'm then just everything feels fluid and everything
Yeah,
moves
I know what you
correctly.
mean.
And, yeah.
You're just
And that was,
adapting
like, one of those
perfectly, and yeah, you're just kind of like one step ahead too. It's good stuff. Yeah, because you know a lot of folks. Well, let's see, clear this up. Yeah, a lot of folks I feel like are just very definitive about like, okay, this is the army. Like I'm getting like my 8 ultras and lings, and then like my 6 infestors, and then like once the infestors die, it's just kind of like it just kind of goes to hell after that. It's just like all lings sometimes, or all infestors, or crazy stuff. But you've maintained this balance like the whole time. It's kind of great.
Yeah, I think unit composition is one of the biggest factors in StarCraft 2, and I don't believe in like ideal compositions. I only believe in adaptive play, really.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's to an extent, right? I mean, I've had discussions with folks about this too, and I feel like a lot of the games, or at least when it gets to the high level, like, do you feel like you have to have somewhat of a gambit going into a game? Because I feel like if you're completely reactive, then you're kind of at the mercy of the person dictating, or you could make more mistakes.
Well, yeah, of course, you have like a general guideline. For example, ZvT, I'm pretty much always gonna get Ultralisk. I'm always gonna get Infestus. I'm always gonna get Link Bane.
Right.
But I don't know how many Ultralisks I'm gonna get. I don't know how many Links I wanna get. How many Bane Links I wanna get. That depends on what army my opponent gets. What spots the game develops to be fought at. And yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It's more like that.
Awesome. All right. Looks like it's checking time. Okay. Looks like we're doing okay. Why don't we load up the third one? And while we're doing that, kind of want to fill the viewers up on what we're doing. We have a TLO here, guys, going over some ZvT with us. We're on our third replay that he's going to be analyzing. And for those of you, this is kind of the Razer announcement show. So we're doing giveaways. We're doing the giveaway of this Razer headset, this Banshee. This is kind of the StarCraft branded headset you've seen with the APM colors, the LEDs on the side. And the way you enter that, guys, is you add me on Twitter @ChanmanV and tweet me what you think that TLO's favorite moment was in the documentary Liquid Rising. And I think you guys will be surprised. I'll give you a hint. You guys, it's not the obvious choice, which I think a lot of people are probably guessing. So, yeah. Kind of mix it up, guys, with your guesses, because I don't think it's the obvious choice. All right, I'm at 2 minutes. We're gonna be on. This is gonna be the third map. This is gonna be on Shakuris, and it's a little bit similar to the last map, but I think there's really good mid-game timings in this that you stuff with Ling Infestor Ultra. So this map's always can be problematic, especially on ZvT.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm ready.
Maybe let's just jump like from... Oh no, wait, it's a little bit of different opening, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's just go like 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, let's go to 3 minutes, and I think there's a 2 racks opening here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's just, we can actually just check out the defense of it, and then maybe we can fast forward a little bit after that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm at 3 minutes.
All right. So
Here you go. 3,
my
2.
opponent played like 2 racks at his natural. I scouted. I take out 1 SCV. I'm pretty happy about that. A little bit lucky there. And well, basically, I know he goes 2 racks, but it's not like an all-in or a strong commitment because he made it at his natural. So I also know he's probably gonna follow it up with quick command center, which means in my mind, I know I have to defend it, but I have to defend it with as low investment as possible.
I see.
Okay.
All right,
Let's start, I
let's
guess.
start. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, and while we're doing this, what are the key things to kill? Like, he's going to be building a bunker here soon, right? Talk to me about how many drones, what you focus first. Do you go after the Marine first? You go over the building bunker, the SCV that's building the bunker first?
That's a very strong dynamic again.
Yeah.
If the Marines are the position I know I can kill them with my drones or circlings, I'm gonna go for the Marines. And like one very important thing is if you chase down the Marines with drones and circlings, always take 1 drone to right shift click on the SCV building the bunker. But then it's gonna delay the bunker while you chase the Marines. There's no sense in like attacking the Marines with all your units. It's always good to have 1 to just kill the SCV building the bunker.
Okay.
But it really depends on how the game develops. Like I can't give you any like too general guideline to that.
Yeah. So like right here, you chase that SCV off, but you kill that SCV, and then like you immediately go back to the bunker and kill the bunker. That's
yeah. It's because he was like too far away from the bunker, so I know I can kill it without like any big investment, basically.
Right. Okay. And then once your spine's up, you're pretty much safe, right?
Exactly.
Gotcha. And you want your viewers, you always want your spine close to, basically close to your mineral line and close enough to the ramp, and just really good coverage so that the Marines can't get anywhere here. Now you have 2 queens. 2 queens are gonna own those Marines.
Yeah, and I didn't even check lava yet because I'm not entirely sure what's going on. My overload is now just coming into scout if there's a command center, so I want to save energy for transfuse.
Oh, I see.
And right at this moment, it's okay because I can invest all my money anyways without injecting lava because I'm getting 2 more queens, and the economy was a little bit delayed because of what he played, right?
Right. Exactly. Okay.
So now I saw the command center and gonna plant down 4 tumors because I know I'm not gonna use the transfuses.
So why didn't you inject there?
Well, as I was saying, like, because I'm building 2 more queens, so they are gonna inject.
Oh, okay.
And
I mean, inject versus the 4 tumors is kind of what I was meaning.
Yeah. But like my inject was a little bit delayed, and I really wanted to start getting queens spread out. Also, like as a mean of scouting, because if I gain like 1 extra 10 seconds, it might mean the difference between holding or not holding later on.
I see. Okay. Good cancel there. Wow.
Yeah. What's important to send the circling in front of the tumors. You should like always do that if you know your opponent is like sitting in front of your base. You can do 2 things, like not extend your tumors to the like very far edge of your creep, so you got like some vision.
Right.
Or like send 1 unit in front, so you got time to cancel.
All right. Sorry about production, guys. One thing I was going to ask you, why did you build the second spine?
Why I did building?
Yeah.
Because even when he goes command center first, quick command center, there's like still a Marine SCV all in timing that I wanted to secure myself against.
Okay.
And because the beginning went pretty well, I really felt like I have the 150 extra minerals to invest into a spine.
Gotcha. Just to be safe, yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, this creep spread is gonna be sick here. It's gonna about to get off the hook here. Talk to me. What do you think about the rocks on this map? Like, how soon do you clear those? Do you wait till you get a ton of lings to clear it, or?
Well, in general, you should clear them as soon as possible. Like, I hate it when I forget about it because it's so easy to forget about it. But
Right.
when you get an opportunity where you have nothing else to do with your army and you got links out, you can take them out. Really, there's no disadvantage to
Yeah.
not have them taken out.
I think it takes I think it takes 4.5 minutes with 3 lings. By the way, if you just leave them on there for a long time. I was trying that one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I think it takes a long time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you're out on the bow, kind of with your lings, gonna do some scouting here, I guess. So you see the 3 racks,
Well,
and
I'm gonna to. Well, the nice thing is he has 2 bunkers, right? And he has a lot of SCVs at his racks right now. If you're at that spot already. So right now he's afraid of a link baneling all in. Can you stop the game for
yeah,
this?
just pause it for a second.
Okay. Are my banelings morphing?
They morphed, they were morphing, and then you just canceled them for me.
Yeah, exactly. So if you look at the vision, when I was morphing, you could see a baneling.
Could he? I thought he could only see the lings there. Let me go back.
No, like you could see one of the banelings.
Oh, okay. Okay, another mind game then, huh?
Yeah, because he was already prepared for an all-in. So I was like, okay, let him think he's doing the right choice. Let him think there's really an all-in coming and make him happy. So I'm moving banelings in his vision range, so he's gonna keep those SCVs at his bunker. And thinks, yeah, this is going good. I should be ahead right now because he's going all in. And in reality, I'm just gonna cancel my banelings.
Right, I see. Okay. Good stuff, okay. Another mind game, that's good. It's not like I guess it's not like you needed that gas immediately for anything either.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I had that gas flying around, and I just had to make those banelings for a little bit, and then there's 0 investment.
Gotcha. All right, so why don't we start it up? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, heading back with the lings. Continuing your crave spread. Again, it's getting sick. You just keep adding a tumor to the collection, or
the more the better, really.
Yeah, an active tumor. Okay, so you're taking the front 3rd. Wow, that's interesting. Why that one versus the one on the left?
There's my reasoning behind that is it gets very hard to secure the frontal bases in late game. But it's very easy to secure the bases on the left side of the map for me. So the earlier I start mining out the front bases, the better.
Ah, okay.
And my creep spread
was
was very, very strong, so I knew I could defend in the middle for quite some time.
Is there an order that you go? I mean, like when you're talking about your actions, I mean, you talk about rhythm, right? Is there a really good rhythm you have with creep spread?
Well, I save up my tumors on a hotkey.
Oh, you do? There. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
like from time to time, like I'm not that good at it yet. So whenever I make a new active tumor, I want to save it to a group, and then I can just click the hotkey, check, okay, they're ready. I can double tap the hotkey. I'm gonna jump to the location of the creep tumor and can spread it quite easily.
Oh man, that's nice, dude. That's a good tip for everybody. Yep.
Yeah, and if you don't do it, just a creep tumor takes 15 seconds to build, I think. And it has a 15-second cooldown, so you should check the clock every half a minute. You can extend your creep again.
I see. Okay, so now you're opening up the rock channels, and this kind of without these pathways open, it's pretty much just a single route channel, right? That the Heron has to defend. So yeah, it's so important to open those up. I never really placed overlords like. Where you have them up front there, just on the terraces there. I don't know why I never did that. Jeez, that makes total sense. Okay.
Yeah, it's nice just to have creep spread on there as well.
Yeah,
in case he dropped on there.
All right, so at this point, you're kind of going to get into 2-2 and got your infestor count and going to be going to ultra again, right?
Yeah, pretty much same stuff as last time, but it's obviously not very possible to do link run by centric Kuras.
Yeah.
Not like at the moment, at least.
Yeah. So I guess that that means that this strategy isn't that dependent on the run bys like it was. So last game isn't how it has to go, I guess. For you.
Well, last game I was pretty far behind from the beginning.
Yeah.
So I had to make something happen. but this game that wasn't so much the case.
Yeah, this creep stret's pretty sick, man.
Could be much better still. Could be twice as far.
Okay.
I'm still not happy about it at all.
Oh really? Oh man.
Like to me, at some point, creep tumors have to become like injects. You don't miss a single cooldown.
Right.
And right now, I missed like 10 cooldowns. So it could really be at the natural of the other main by now.
Yeah, you could be denying like bases, which is awesome. Okay, so you just position in the middle of the map, and yeah, I mean, talk to me about just leaving your units right in the middle of the map there. I mean, like, I think a lot of people would pull back.
There's no disadvantage to just be as close to your opponent as possible, because on creep I can always run away, and the more time I can gain by delaying him, better for me. And it's very hard for Terran to push out because he has to start spreading his units as soon as possible if I'm right in front of in his face. If he just like moves out of his entire army, I'm gonna be able to just fungal everything.
Right.
So it becomes much more technical for Terran, much more demanding to be able to move out in a fashion that doesn't kill him.
See, it's all these little things, guys. That's so smart, man. I love how you're leaving like a group of links too by your fourth too, just in case drops or anything like that too. Like, that's a good stuff. Looks like you're almost expecting a drop to come. You send your units up to the 5th there.
Well, I scouted.
Oh, actually, you see it. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
You actually see
Not
it.
so much about expecting, just knowing.
It's eyes versus instinct. All right, he just goes ahead and drops anyways. Interesting. Okay, those all die. Okay, so he's kind of pushing up, trying to push back that creep a little bit. I see you put some spines in the middle there, just to kind of just slow him down a little bit, I guess.
It was my 2 spines in my natural, so
okay. Yeah.
Like at least they could gain some time. And right now it's a pure game of time. I need to get my tech 3 out before he manages to shut down on my bases.
It comes out in the nick of time too, because can you stop that army with just pure Ling and Thester?
No, I don't think so. Well, if I get a little bit lucky, but if he slow pushes, I can.
So right now you're getting brutes and ultras.
Yeah, I think they complement each other very well too, because you want to get underneath the brute lords, but so you can't kite away from them. But then the ultralists are beneath them to deal the damage. But in this case, they were just here to save the day and gain
yeah,
a
I
little
mean,
bit of time.
it just barely pops at the right time there. Nice transfuse there. And it seems like you had just the right fungals, a number of fungals too, to really hold that army from really pushing into that natural.
Yeah, I think if we just would maybe have went up to my natural, to my 4th base, it would have been pretty bad. He got a little bit over Giga there.
I see. Okay, so at this point you're feeling really good about them. He's got he's got 4, or he's getting his 4th right now. But got to be feeling good about this game, right? At this point.
Yeah, if you get an ultraless brute lord composition out, I feel like I can fight any kind of economy, as long as I manage to obtain base by base. It's not like that game where you think, oh shit, Terran has 4 base, and I got 5 base or 4 base, but I'm still gonna lose. No, by that time, you really have an equal kind of firepower. Yeah, a little bit of a distraction tech I did. Just was kind of running in with links and ultras. I know I won't do damage, but I took out the entire economy of his 3rd Bane links at the same time.
Oh really? Okay, I didn't.
Yeah,
see
just
that,
playing
actually.
with the fact that humans can only look at one place at once. So
Humans.
it's
nice. Okay, so he's trying to harass you on multiple fronts with drops and that stupid terrorist that every Zerg hates on the north. And that's where it kind of gets a little dicey, I guess. I mean, I guess you do have corruptors in this composition, so kind of deal with it a little bit.
Yeah, I was kind of wasting my corruptor, but I mean, it was kind of fine because I opened up the rocks so I could like come up in from both sides, but it's definitely annoying.
Yeah. And this is kind of the Terran's way of delaying and trying to get back in the game too, yeah. get
Yeah,
bases
he's doing
set
a pretty
up.
good job right now. I'm dropping my main, dropping at the top again.
The queens you have following ultras in Broodlords? Is that the deal?
No, I was just kind of sending them towards the drop, trying to help to clean up.
Okay. But I noticed earlier you had like one Broodlord and one queen was basically following it, I think. It's just kind of... And then you just use it to transfuse every once in a while.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too, for sure.
Alright, this game seems to go on, but this is Shakur's, man. It seems like just one really bad engagement of Shakur's could be... one bad engagement with a drop happening at the same time could end.
Yeah,
could really be
Shakura's
disaster.
is pretty difficult to play at times.
Yeah, just so much range to have to defend with the bases being across the map for the most part.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy for Terran to defend. I'm going for a Nidus network now to kind of get some edge, and I was a little bit lucky there because he doesn't have scouting at his bottom base.
Okay, so you're gonna Nidus the bottom base. Okay, yeah, interesting. What do you think about Nidus?
Nidus is great. I want to start using it much more as well. Kinda also in like just in a much more networky way that I have a Nidus at all my bases.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
then I just have like 2 Infestors and 8 Links in there, and if he drops, I just pop out where I need to pop out.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So in ultra late game, that would make it much easier to have control of the map.
Mhm.
And then what you could do is you rally all your hatches to the closest exit, and then you make Nidus worms in the front, and while you attack, you just rally your units into the Nidus networks, and your Nidus exits are all at the front, so you have like 2 or 3 of them, so your units come out faster. So while you attack, you have immediate reinforcement.
Right. I don't know how you have actions for all that, man.
I
guess
was using it for a little bit, but
Really?
it's hard to pull off, but it's so good. I did it against Protoss for a while. Basically, just have 3 Nidus worms at the very front, and then I have my Broodlords at the front. And the problem with Broodlords is as soon as your ground army dies, your Broodlords are gonna die.
Right.
But because I had those networks there, I just immediately reinforced, and my Broodlords were never put out, and the ground army beneath it.
That's crazy, man. That's good stuff, though. All right, yeah. I mean, I'm noticing you're putting them everywhere. He says, I'm sure he's sick of the screaming noise that's happening like every 5 seconds. But he's getting some work done though with his army.
Yeah, he's still defending, and he's hitting max as well. He's taking out a base.
Oh, he's not healing that planetary fortress in time though. Oh, bye bye SCBs.
This ledge is like so great to put Infestors on and just deny units from coming up there.
Yeah, and you just run them in. So good. Link's still doing work in the base too. Just trying to spread them out as much as possible, right?
Yeah, you just want them not to all be revealed by a single scan, really.
Yeah. So at this point, do you feel like it's, do you feel in danger at all? I mean, I feel like you have this game so contained at this point.
Yeah, at this state, it's more like a concentration exercise, really.
Yeah.
To make sure you don't make any mistakes, because mistakes can still lose you the game. But as long as you stay on top of things, there should really nothing should be able to stop you still. But 200 army of Terran is still tough to deal with sometimes.
Yeah, it's Terran, right? Terran can come back. They can have 5 Marines and come back on you.
Yeah, Terran is pretty good like that. I mean, it's pretty hard for Terran to attack. Like,
am I seeing Bane drops, dude? Is that what I'm seeing? Oh my gosh. Bane drops against Terran. That's good stuff.
No, Nidus. So, yeah. When it comes to late game CVT, it's just so cool how much you can do.
Just everything, yeah.
If you have the APM, of course. Because there's no limit to... Like, there's always something you can do.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, it seems like not very many people are versed enough in in all the utilities like Nidus, and I mean you're just dropping Banes there. I mean, that's
It's just in late game,
yeah.
all those cool things are very low investment.
Mhm.
And not very high risk either, because through a Nidus you can escape, a drop can get away again.
Right.
So I really don't see any reason why you would not do that.
All right, going with some more drops. Yeah, a lot of people, I mean, a lot of folks, I think, just look at, they really look at Nidus and drops as just purely analogous to each other, but, you know, you're using Nidus in a different way when you're talking about, I feel like, reinforcing and that type of thing. Wow, so many Vikings, holy smokes.
Yeah, and Nidus are great to escape again as well, if you drop, as you can see what I'm gonna do now.
You ever just leave the Vikings alive on purpose? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of fun just to damage them a lot and not kill them. And what happens what happens sometimes is I have 4 food lords and I just park them very just as defensively as possible.
Right.
And he's gonna have 10 Vikings, and okay, I have some supply like in the food lords, but he has a ton of supply in the Vikings as well. And then I don't use the food lords until the Vikings are all dead, and then they come out again.
Right, I see. Okay, gotcha. But you know, I was asking the question mainly because you know you've transitioned to Ultra now, and so it's just supply that he can't.
Yeah.
They can't do anything.
And then it's
against.
then it's like just good to damage them though.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if he doesn't repair them, they're even gonna be like more useless supply because they're all gonna be almost dead.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, why don't we? I don't know. Why don't we go at least 2x through the rest of it?
Sure.
I think it's kind of a matter of time here. Just trying to see if there's anything else interesting to look at here.
It's just same old, same old. I did a little bit of food lord harass.
Yeah, exactly. Ultra drops. Ultra drop harass. Alright, yeah, not too much. Oh, nice. Oh, that's so many SCVs there. Oh my gosh. How many SCVs have you killed here? Let's see.
Like, people always say Terran is the best harass race, but in late game I feel like Zerg is by far the best harass race. Because you have, like, everything. You have Baneling drops, you have infested, infestors, burrowed infestors, you have Nidus, you have infestor drops, you have circling run-bys, you have muters.
Right. I mean, I think you're right. I just think, you know, to fully utilize the race, you know, all these utilities you're talking about, it takes just so much actions. You know, obviously it takes a lot of actions too to like micro, you know, even bio and stuff like that. But I feel like it's more like all over the screen type of mic. You know what I mean? It's like you're clicking all over the screen probably, doing Niduses and doing drops and doing, you know, it's kind of craziness that way.
But what I feel is like it's easier for Zerg because it's very crude micro compared to bio micro, I think, like splitting and everything and stutter stepping. It's like it's a lot of actions, but I don't have to be as precise by doing it because Zerg units are just
I hear what you mean. It's more of it's a quantitative thing, kind of versus very minute kind of movement. Yeah, I got you. All right, well, I think we can just finish this out. Let's just go 8x and just finish this out, I guess. I don't think anything.
It's just gonna be one big battle, and now I got food lords and infestors and corruptors and ultras and queens.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But
and some Banes.
Yeah, now you got that army. All right, we kind of finished it up. Okay, guys. Why don't we kind of jump into some Q&A? Does that sound good, Dario?
Sure.
All right, let's do some Q&A with you guys. For those of you that weren't here earlier, the Q&A portion will be Skype call-ins. So add me on Skype. My ID is ChanmanV. I think my mods have been putting that in the Skype channel. And what we'll do is I'll pull you into the Skype call here, so you can ask TLO your own question. Let me start adding some of these folks so I can pull them in really quickly. And for folks that don't have Skype, you know, just type in your questions in the stream chat, and we'll try and answer them there. It's kind of the last chance to for our giveaways too. Our giveaway for this Banshee headset is the way you enter it, guys. Is add me on Twitter and tweet me the favorite moment in Liquid Rising TLO's favorite moment in Liquid Rising, and all the
I
correct
can give you a hint.
guesses.
It's not about me, by the way, because
Yeah, there you
many
go.
people were.
Yeah, keep giving hints there. That'll be good. It's not about TLO. It's about one of the other folks or one of the other team members. So, all right, guys, I'll call you. So I'll pull you into the call. It's the easiest way to do it. So, all right, let's do this. First person, where are you? I thought I had some more folks here. All right, Logan, I'll take you first since you keep calling me. All right, I'm gonna have to fix the. Oops, I'm gonna have to fix the windows here. Uh-oh, Logan doesn't seem to be there. Oh, guess not. Alright, we'll try one more time. We'll try a different one first. We'll come back to Logan. How about Nicholas? Looks like a youngin'. Nicholas, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, welcome to Pro Corner. You have a question
Hey, Nicholas.
for TLO? You have a question for TLO?
I do. Okay. So I know that a lot of other pros like QXC have their bunkers. He has his bunker, and Artosis has his pylon. Do you have anything? Yeah. Do you have anything you really want to be yours, or like anything you want named after you?
Gaffs that you want to be named after you?
That's a very good question, actually. I haven't been thinking about that at all. What would I like to be named after me?
Maybe Ultra Drops. That was pretty cool.
Well, I don't know. It's not subtle enough. I think actually Overlord Creep Highways, TLO Overlords, I like that a lot because I use that a lot more than most people to just use speed overloads to create artificial creep rather than just tumors to make my army go faster. So that's probably one of my favorite things.
All right. So
Nice.
TLO Creep Highways. They're pretty cool.
All right, we're gonna have to tell Artosis and Tasteless that.
TLO
Man. Exactly. All right, Nicholas, thanks for the question, buddy.
All right. Thanks.
Yep.
Oh, and one more thing. Creep tumor surrounds.
Creep tumor surrounds.
So basically, your opponent tries to run away from you, and you make like 3 tumors in his path, and then he can't get away.
Oh, nice. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right.
But that doesn't happen very often to be utilized.
Exactly. All right, I'll try Logan again here. Switch teams. There he is. Gosh, my windows are all a little messed up, guys. Sorry. Logan, you there? I kind of hear something.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Pro Corner.
Thank you very much. I just had a quick question for TLO. In Game 2, Bomber did a sort of early-ish pressure with the Marine drop. And I've just noticed that people seem to be getting more queens, trying to spread out the creep and everything, but their upgrades seem to be suffering quite a bit. I recently saw Nesty do a play where he favoured getting upgrades way earlier, like getting gas when he was building his first set of queens, in order to get those upgrades really fast. And they actually come out before that timing comes out, and you can just crush it and have a really good counter. Is it worth sacrificing your creep spread for that, do you think?
It really depends a little bit on what your plan in the game is. I feel like it doesn't utilize my cells so much because, first of all, I think I still get pretty quick upgrades in most games compared to most servers in group games. But second of all, I think you can deal with that drop pretty easily if you just scout it, which I didn't in that game, so it did a lot of damage, and my building placement was very bad. But most of all, until I hit like 3-3, and very late game, I don't really seek to engage my opponent, but rather just harass a little bit and get like to the very late game in PvT. So I don't really do anything with those timing. Like if you get really early upgrades, you have to do something with the timing. So then it's very good, but you have to make use of it really. If you get those early upgrades and then just stay defensively, I don't think it's very smart. But the way Nesty does it is obviously very good, and I think I should probably look into it and try to see what I can make out of that. So it's a good point, but it's just a different style, I think.
So I guess it matches more the play style of the aggressive Mutiling, Baneling play style.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, recently I used it against a High Masters European guy in the TSL Open, and it worked really effectively because it just, I guess, made that early aggression with the Muta style a lot more powerful.
Oh yeah. With Mutas, it's very good for sure because you're gonna hit the timing where you have 2/2 upgrades and Terran has 1/1 upgrades, and that just makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Okay, thanks
Alright,
very much.
Thanks for the question.
No problem.
Alright, good questions. I like it. William Baum the second. Oh, look at that picture with Chef. Nice.
Hey.
Hey, William. Welcome to Pro Corner.
Hello, man.
You got a question for TLO?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
All right, great. Let me just kill my volume because I'm getting that echo. Yeah, well, I just want to say hi, Dario. Been a
Hello.
huge fan of yours since the beta.
Thank you.
And, what I wanted to ask you was, Terran is by far my worst matchup. Or, Zerg, I'm sorry, as a Terran is by far my worst matchup. And, it's getting to the point where Zerg is expecting lots of drop play everywhere, so there's lots of spines and Zergling running around. What does Terran do that makes you nervous, puts the pressure on?
What makes me nervous? I'm not that strong against people who just get very quick third base and go like for 170 supply timing, just with very low amounts of aggression early on. So those kinds of Terrans, they try to fake aggression and they're gonna move out a little bit, but more like move out to forge tower, go back. So I'm gonna make units because I have to. But then they just wait until they have like 6 or 7 medivacs, 6 tanks and a lot of marines. And I feel those pushes can be very strong if you execute them correctly. And another thing is just Terrans who are very active about taking out creep. Because fighting against marine tank off creep is very painful until you get tech 3 out, I think. So those two things are the things I'm afraid of most in ZvT.
Hey, thanks, man. Can I get one quick question in?
Sure.
All right, one last one. Sure. Cool.
How's Korea going for you, man?
It's going really good. Practicing a lot, enjoying my time here. It's good to just live with friends and teammates and stuff. And I hope good things are going to come out of here.
All right, I can't wait to be cheering for you during your next big tourney win, man.
Thanks.
Awesome. All right, thanks, William.
No problem,
Have a
man.
great day.
Everybody's so polite tonight. I like it. All right, we got, let's see who's next here. Tyler. I think Tyler's a fairly regular.
Hello.
Hey, Tyler.
Hey.
Hey, buddy.
So
How's it going?
I just pretty good. So I just have a question about like mech. So if they were to go like a Thor, Hellion, Banshee versus the tanks in the last matchup, would you still do the same kind of thing with the roach drops, or would you want to like try to deny as much of them getting their death ball kind of army?
So if you would go Thor Banshee rather than tank,
Yeah, with Hellions, like Blue Flame Hellions, so you can't
Yeah,
get the
sure.
sling.
I think drops are still very nice, but because Thors are very slow, even.
Ooh,
compared
you're
to
breathing in your
tanks.
mic, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
And well, what I would do like smaller drops, basically, just like 8 roaches there, 8 roaches there, and then what you're saying is like I would probably try to deny units rather than economy and stuff. So when he's getting out of position to deal with the drops, I would come with a strong frontal attack with roaches. I would get Neuro Parasite because that's very strong against those, obviously, and I would probably get Hive a little bit later just to get more roaches and Festus out.
Okay.
All right.
So.
Oop.
Okay.
I can't hear you. Ooh.
Okay. So would you want to let them take their third base, so then try to out macro them and then kind of starve them out then? Because I know a lot of pros say that too.
Yeah, denying the third is almost impossible against mech, I think. So you can either like just get the sickest macro, ton of bases out, and when he moves out, you counter attack. because then you have like 6 bases and you just counter and take out his 3.
Yeah.
Or you just try to seek engagements and have like try to get him out of position and always take the fights where you're gonna have an advantage in the net and just back off the engagements you can't win.
Alright, well, thank you, man. I've been having troubles with that, so. Alright.
Alright, thanks, Tyler.
Thank
And
you.
always get burrow approaches, burrow movement against Lazio.
Okay.
Yeah, broad movement's so good. Guys, I'm looking through the tweets, man. I don't see a correct answer yet. So let me see. I'm still looking. Well, I'm looking, guys.
Maybe I'm gonna have to give another hint.
Yeah, we might have to do another one again, guys. We're doing a giveaway for this this Banshee headset, this Razer Banshee headset. Awesome headset. It's got the lights coming from the side that that depend on your APM, right? And I'm still looking through these these tweets, and I don't see one. So, okay, we're gonna do a question while we're still doing this. Robert.
Hello?
Hey, Robert.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Welcome to Pro Corner. Got a question?
Yes, I do. By the way, just wanted to say I'm a big fan of TLO. I watch your stream all the time. I just want to let you know to just keep doing what you're doing, man. I really enjoy watching you.
Thanks.
So, yeah. So my question is, a lot of Terrans have been, doing have been complaining about the queens and the creep spread and all that stuff. But one of the big issues I'm having is, despite having such good creep spread, if I'm taking, let's say, a fast third behind those queens, and I'm waiting for that timing push, are you trying to get a Zergling out to scout when they're pushing out? Because I know good Terrans will always try to prevent you from getting your lings out on the towers, and trying to prevent to see them from moving out. So that's a big problem I've been having when they're attacking like our third, for example. So what do you usually do to combat like that 9 to 10 minute timing push? Are you making units preemptively, or are you trying to play as reactive as possible and trying to constantly be sending lings out on the map?
Okay, so on many of the current maps, I think you can have pretty nice overlord placement. So you should try to work on that. Get overlords into the positions where you're actually gonna see the move on without having to sacrifice too many overlords. And yeah, then it's just obviously they're gonna try to kill your Zerglings, but if you spread them out a lot and just send in a Zergling once in a while, even not just sitting at the watchtower, but just run into his natural, see how many units he has, to get an estimate if he's expanding or trying to attack you, then you should always be able to get an idea of what's going on. So rather than just sending that one link to a watchtower once, just send one link and half a minute later send 2 more that go 2 different paths, and then you should be able to find out. So I think it's good to make a certain amount of links just to be sure. So you get like 10 to 20 links that you have like as a stock, but more than that you should be reactive, and then when you see him moving out, you're going to add more units to that little amount of units you have already, just to have a little bit of a buffer.
Okay, so you do suggest to have just a little bit of units, but to play completely reactive, because I've been told that trying to hard counter things as Zerg is bad play, just because that's not how the race mechanic works. You want to try to get as much as possible. So
yeah,
you should
because the problem is if you hard counter, your economy is going to be very weak. Like if you get a ton of units for that push and he just expands, you're going to be in a very bad spot.
Yeah, I see. Okay, thank you very much for answering my question.
All right, thanks, Robert.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's take. Oops, I got them all a little early. Let's take. I think 3 more. I do have one person with the right answer. He's doing well. All right, I'm going to read this one. This one was one of the first people that actually messaged me on Skype a question. He's wondering what you think of the utility of Contaminate. Like, can you think of crazy, creative TLO ways of using Contaminate right now?
Okay, so 2 days ago,
Look at this.
I had a revelation.
All right.
And that was CBC. My opponent was in Pestos, and it's like a 2 or 3 base versus 2 or 3 base situation. And I scouted got the infestation pit fairly early on. I see him start researching energy upgrade for Infestors. So Infestors take 50 seconds, the energy upgrade takes 80 seconds. So around the 30-second mark after the upgrade was started, you want to start your Infestors. So they're going to come out right after energy upgrade is finished. So they're gonna start off with 75 energy equals 1 ready fungal right away. So my idea was 50 seconds after he starts his energy upgrades, I'm gonna contaminate his infestation pit. His infestors are gonna finish without their energy upgrade, only gonna have 50 energy, and I'm gonna do a roach timing attack, and he's gonna be in a very big trouble because he
Oh,
made
wow.
infestors invested into it. Doesn't have fungal, but I have a ton of roaches.
All right. Now that sounds good, man. That sounds really good, actually. So, I mean, how long do you immediately get into contaminate when you morph a overseer?
No. It takes you need 125 energy. You start off with 50, but I think the timing should work out. If you make like if your layer finishes around the time his layer finishes, you're gonna make the overseer immediately, and then he still has to make the infestation pit, and then you still have like 50 seconds to contaminate. So it should work out.
Right. Okay. Awesome. That sounds pretty good. All right, Nick. Ooh, look at that. Yeah. Hey, Nick, you there? Hey, Nick, you there? Hello? All right.
Hello, Nick.
Nick, you there? Okay. All right. Oh, well, we gotta take somebody else. Adrian. Adrian Smith. Smith.
Hello?
Hey, Adrian.
Hello.
Oh, hey.
Welcome to Pro Corner.
Thank you. Okay, so my questions regard ZvT drops most of all. So first off, it's just a little idea I had. At any point in the game, early to ultra late, is it worth upgrading your very important bases to layer tech as their own hatchery? Just increase the health. Is it worth the investment to give them that extra health?
Not really, because if you think about it, it's a 150, 100 investment. So what you could rather do is just get 1 extra queen that you put next to the hatchery and build up energy to have 4 transfuses, which would be more hit points than hatched layer, and on top of that you would have an extra queen. So that would be a better choice.
Alright, and my second question is, when you're defending against drops with spines, are spores worth the investment as well, or would you rather just surround your base in spine crawlers?
Oh yeah, spores are really, really good. I think in many cases I would even prefer spores over spines. Especially on maps like on Antigua, for example, your third base. Get 2 spores there, maybe 1 spine, you're going to be set for drops. And the nice thing about it is taking out medivacs just makes it so much less annoying for Terran when a Terran is dropping, because you're going to have speedlings to take care of the Marines, and usually you can pick up and get away again. But if you have spores and queens to take out the medivacs, maybe you're going to lose a couple more drones, but if you take out the medivacs and Marines, it's worth it.
Alright, thanks.
Cool. Thanks,
No
Adrian.
problem.
Okay, see ya.
All right. Last question. Who's going to be the lucky one? Let's see. All right, we'll give Nick one more shot here. Since he was technically first. Nick, you there? Who's going to be the lucky one?
Alright.
Oh, no. Okay, it's not going to work. Okay, last guy. Here we go. We got another Adrian here. Adrian Thompson. This is and we're going to be doing the giveaway right after this, guys. So, Adrian, you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Pro Corner.
I'm fine, and hi Dario. I must say I'm a big
Hello.
fan. I listen to your group chat very often as well.
Thanks.
My question relates to Terrans that are really greedy, that go to 3 bases really quickly, and sometimes I have a problem doing damage to their economy or even their production if they turtle really hard. What do you suggest? Because in lower leagues, for example, there are a lot of turrets, so Mutalists aren't as useful, and even borrowed infestors are harder to use.
Okay. You should try to learn the roach bending all in. You probably know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So I think especially in lower leagues, that's going to be very strong, because people are not going to be ready for that. So my advice is you should get a replay of that and try to just copy that build as much as possible, because I don't think it's that hard to execute, but you have to know the timings perfectly. So that's something you can try. or you just play very greedy yourself and get a very quick 4 and then take up as quickly as possible.
Okay. And where did the beard go?
No, the beard.
Oh, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that just came up.
Yeah, well, I really felt the need to shave, and Korea was kind of like a new start for me, and I hit my 10 points, so that's what happened.
Okay, well, all the best in Korea, and hope to see you in Home
Thanks.
Story Cup.
Yeah, I'll be there, and hopefully do well. So thanks for your support.
Awesome. All right, thanks, Adrian. All right, guys, that's going to be it for Q&A. Yeah, thanks for calling those in, and Dario, thanks for answering all those. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Okay, guys, let me last second check for Twitter. There's one guy that got it right, and then we'll kind of let you guys know what the answer was. There seems to be 15 more. Let's see. Everybody thinks it's a hot bid slap, which is pretty funny, I have to say.
Yeah, it was really good.
Oh, actually, Dave. So one person just said the day nines. What's up with the sand, dude? That's funny. All right, okay. It doesn't look like any. It looks like the winner of this awesome headset. I'm gonna bring it out here. Awesome headset and the T-shirt I'm wearing. This T-shirt, this Razer T-shirt with the snake heart here is. Where's my notepad? I wrote his name down. Is Jarrett? It's at Twitter at Sunstroke132. Let me add you, buddy, and then message me. Hold on a second. Where is he? He actually guessed. Let me see. He's the only person to guess it right. Okay, so I just followed you, Jarrett. Just direct message me in Twitter, and we'll figure out how to get this to you. But, yep, it's a nice headset. This is going to be the first of many giveaways. Again, guys, we're going to be doing this every week. So, not every show, obviously, because we have 2 shows every week. But, once a week we'll be doing it and giving out various great Razer gear. Razer's great, and again, this show is all about the Razer sponsorship. So big thanks to Razer and all the great stuff they do. Like sponsoring Team Liquid, obviously, and just all the projects, teams, and events and stuff that they sponsor. They do such a awesome job. Not to mention they have just awesome gear. I mean, I've been using their gear forever, so it's very logical for me to work with them. But Dario, I hope you had a good time, buddy.
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead.
Always good to vocalize my thoughts too. I think right now my brain is working a lot on Stalker, so gonna have a fruitful practice session later on.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to have you on here more, man, because like I said, this is awesome stuff. I mean, all the little tips and all the ideas you agree with me too. I freaking love it. Not everybody agrees with me when it comes to some of my crazy ideas, but I think it's been wonderful. And actually, some people have been asking, are you going to be streaming right after?
No, right after I'm actually going to get food, but I'll be streaming later.
Okay, cool. Yeah, guys, check him out. Obviously, I think it's just is it what's your it's twitch.tv/
twitch.tv/LiquidTLO, and you can follow me on Twitter at LiquidTLO.
There we go. Easy peasy. I like it when you folks or when you players name your accounts the same as your actual names. Some of them are crazy. But any other shoutouts?
Sure. Always big thanks to everybody who's a frequent visitor of my Twitch TV. And thanks to Razer for doing this, supporting you. That's good stuff. And hopefully you're going to be working more with them. I mean, obviously you are, because the show is sponsored by them now. Right. So that's great. And hopefully, who won? Scoreboard won, right?
Sunstroke won.
Oh, a Sunstroke one.
Yeah.
So good job.
Oh, actually, let me type it in there. Just to make sure everybody understands that this.
Yeah, the answer was, by the way, that when Chef was talking about when he got his ID.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I didn't even mention that. Yeah, it was all about the story. Yeah, he told about how he got his name, right?
Yeah, his nickname, exactly. And right. So, thanks for everybody for watching. Keep cheering for me, and I hope I'll do well at Home Story Cup. So tune in there.
I'm expecting big things, buddy. Not to put any pressure on you or anything like that, but yeah, guys, check out his stream, especially tonight. This guy's been balling it. I mean, just I mean, I'm telling you, just beating a lot of notable Koreans, and it's actually the best I've ever seen you play, Dario. I mean, I've seen a lot of your play, so I'm really excited about the prospects of you having a lot of success in the near future, because I think a lot of folks would love to see that, and including myself. So
Thanks. I'll try to do my best.
yeah, exactly. So, but big thanks. I think this episode was a pretty big success. I mean, lots of great tidbits. For those you missed the beginning, the VODs will be up probably later tonight. I mean, I think it'll be pretty easy to upload it tonight, so there wasn't any kind of blips or anything. So yeah, it'll be up later tonight, so check it out. My VODs are all on youtube.com/ChanmanV. You can follow me on twitter.com/ChanmanV for any show updates or anything like that for Pro Corner and Climbing the Ladder. And also, click the follow button if you enjoyed the show here too, because that'll give you a notification every time my stream's up. And I only stream whenever I do the shows, so if not, that's cool too. Just hopefully you enjoyed the show tonight. But yeah, that's going to be it for Pro Corner tonight. Next week, Monday, we're going to be having a Zerg. I know it's another Zerg show, guys. I know you Terrans are about to beat me down with a hammer, but it's just so hard to get Terrans right now that speak English. Like, they all either speak Ukrainian or Russian or Korean, you know what I mean? So I only have like this small number of Terrans, and obviously everybody has crazy schedules. So I promise I'll have Terrans soon, and Protoss. I have Protoss lined up too soon. But Monday we will have kind of an EG night. Machine and LZ Gamer will be on for Zerg panel, and yeah, so we'll kind of get some more Zerg strategies done. It probably won't be ZvT. It'll probably be ZvP or ZvZ. But yeah. That's going to be it for tonight, guys. We'll see you next time on Pro Corner. Peace.
Bye-bye.